All right, my name is Guadez. I'm a Filipino and think I have the duty and the obligation to protect my country and protect the future of my country, the Philippines. And then this is regarding about this woman, Miss, what's her name again? Agnes Calamard. I'm just gonna tackle some point of views about this woman opinion against the Philippine government. Okay, I'm gonna break down the video one by one. Okay.
For me to be able to conduct my investigation in the Philippines, I need the government to lift the three conditions that it has imposed on that mission, including taking an oath, including a public debate with the president. I have clearly explained on a multiple of occasions why those conditions are violating the code of conduct that was adopted by the member states of the United Nations, and why those conditions are also going against the spirit and the principles of an investigation, including the respect for the victims, the respect for due process, and respect for the rule of law.
This is Agnes Calamard. I'm going to respond to your statement as a regular Filipino using common sense, okay? I'm going to be using common sense, all right? Because I'm not a political analyst. I don't have any political background, okay? All right. We all know, you know, that Philippines justice system is very well functional, okay? The justice system in the Philippines is very well managed and well practiced. We have the smartest judicial system in the world, and you know about it, right? And you must also know that the culture of the Philippines is different than the culture in your country or the rest of the world. All right? My country is dealing millions and millions of drug addicts, and they don't think as a regular normal person. These people are insane. They're crazy. And one of the major side effects of being a shabu addict is paranoia. Okay, you know, this addict think that everybody's against them and like the whole world is against them. So they are very defensive. They have poor safety awareness because they're crazy, they're high, and then when the police officers or the military trying to subdue them or arrest them, they will defend themselves as if it is the end of the world for themselves. So they end up shooting the police, you know, doing crazy things just to defend themselves. And this is how the police are forced to use, you know, the power as a police, you know, shoot them before they shoot you first. Okay, and this is how everything, all these killings during police raids is happening.
Now, Dr. Calamard, notwithstanding that, the President and his spokesperson have tried to debunk your claim that the drug war has generated a culture of impunity among men in uniform. Now, since that has happened, you've got two high-profile deaths. One, the mayor, who was the subject of a Senate report, and a Korean national in police hands. Tell us, what are we in right now, the Philippines? Are we on a slippery slope? How bad is it in the Philippines right now?
Let me highlight a couple of things. The first most important aspect is that as far as my mandate is concerned, my work on killings is concerned, the Philippines is standing out as one of the worst places right now outside an armed conflict situation because of the scale of the killing, but also because the human rights crisis is multifold. It is, of course, the alleged extrajudicial executions, it is the impunity, but it's also a crisis related to the health sector, the right to health, it's a crisis related to detention, it's a crisis related to the very high rate of incarcerations and the overcrowdedness of the prisons. So we are looking at a multiple crisis at the moment. So from that standpoint, yes, it is more than a slippery slope. It is a human rights crisis created by the government itself. On the other hand, I take hope in the fact that within civil society, within the political sector, within the church, within the media, there are actors right now who are going to the front line and who are arguing very strongly against this war on drugs that has resulted in some 8,000 killings.
Okay, Agnes, this is my response to this part of your video, okay? You must also accept the fact that this drug problem in the Philippines did not start overnight, okay? This is from years and years and years of neglect from the previous administrations, from the previous politicians who run this country, okay? Rodrigo Duterte is trying to fix this unthinkable, you know, try to scale the magnitude, the severity of this drug problem in the Philippines. How can you solve it without an iron fist? Okay? Are you gonna kiss asses? Okay? My country, this drug problem blew out like this because of narco-politics. And you refuse to recognize it. This very woman who's in jail right now, you know, overwhelming evidences that she is involved in narco-politics or in drugs. She even had videos dancing elbow to elbow with those drug lords in the Philippines. And yet, you protect this woman and saying that she is a political prisoner. I mean, now, where is justice? Are you trying to protect people, or are you trying to protect those people? You know what? Let's go listen more to your video.
What recourse does the UN have to fulfill your mandate while the stalemate continues as regards your coming to the Philippines and this body count rises?
From the United Nations standpoint, our role is to raise the awareness and the knowledge about what's happening in the Philippines, and to convince the key stakeholders, including the government, that a mission undertaken by myself and hopefully by others, including the Special Rapporteur on the Right to Health, this investigation will be a very important step in demonstrating the willingness of the government to consider that maybe the war on drugs is not the right way to go. The key thing is for the government and for the President to be open, to listen to what the rest of the world has done so far, to listen to what the experts have found, to listen to what other countries have done, which shows that the war on drugs is the absolute opposite of what the Philippines should be doing at the moment to tackle the problem of drug trafficking and drug addiction. Your president must listen to what we have to say. Your president must stop the war on drugs.
Okay, hold on. Are you trying to say that you want our government to stop the war against drugs? Is that what you're trying to say? I mean, like, common sense. I mean, I'm not getting it. Okay? The Philippine government is winning on the wars on drugs. I mean, like, have you seen millions of drug addicts, drug users surrendering? Have you seen those magnitudes, this problem that my government is facing right now, trying to rehabilitate millions of people affected with those drug problems? I mean, like, Agnes, it appears that you are on the sides of those drug business people. I mean, like, are you for the people? Are you trying to protect the people? Are you trying to protect victims? Or are you trying to protect the drug business? I don't understand. I don't get it. Okay? So you want my president to stop the war on drugs so the drug will flourish again and then get more victims? Or, you know, I don't understand your point of view. trying to stop my government about the drug war? I mean, like, are you trying to protect the people or are you trying to protect the drug business? Okay, listen to more video. I don't understand it.
From what you have so far and what you've seen across the board with other experiences, is the president liable from both a constitutional and international law standpoint in terms of murder and incitement to violence? Or is that specifically what you're targeting during your investigation?
So far, I have not investigated what happened when the president was mayor. What I can say from an international human rights standpoint, that of course there is a regime of liability attached to the act and the words of the president. Under international law, incitement to violence is absolutely prohibited. Again, my call to him is that, as president, your statements carry so much weight. You cannot call on anyone to kill anyone else, and you cannot deny people the right to life.
Okay, I have to break this video. Okay. You were saying you cannot deny people to. Let me play it again. You cannot deny. What was that?
Deny people the right to life.
Okay, you cannot deny people to the right of lives. Okay, is that what I'm trying to say? So look at us. Look at me, and the millions of Filipino who is deprived our right for a better Philippines because you are interfering with these drug problems in my country. Okay? I mean, like, only few peoples are benefited on your cause as human rights advocates. You're not even protecting them at all. Okay? I mean, like, my president is trying to preserve lives of the future Filipinos and trying to protect, okay, the innocent people from being victims of those drugs. If you will allow those people to live and sell drugs and it will multiply, flourish again, I mean, like, you're gonna be kidding me. All right? Okay? You want drug to flourish, right? I mean, like, human rights. I mean, you have all the rights to protect drugs. I think that you want. Okay, I'm gonna listen more to your videos.
Allow me to highlight the fact that what I think is, independently of whether or not the president is inciting, there is currently an atmosphere and a culture around the killings that deny the people being killed their humanity. They are, just portrayed as supposedly drug pushers or drug addicts. They are not fathers, they are not sons, they are not people who had a dream. They just are described as drug addict and therefore people who could be killed. This is so dangerous for the nature and for the culture altogether. Let's remember who those individuals are and let's give them the due process that they are entitled to as a Filipino citizen. I've heard your president talking about we need to kill people in order to protect the youth, but actually the people that are being killed right now are the youth. They are young people, they are poor and young. And if you want to protect them, don't kill them. Offer them alternatives. Offer them ways of moving forward with their life and with their dreams.
Agnes, I really admire your sincerity about your advocacy in human rights, but you must also learn or know the cultures on drugs in the Philippines is different than the cultures of drugs in other countries. For example, Mexico, Colombia, and those countries, Pakistan, the drugs that they have is different than the drugs that we have in my country. They have cocaine, they have poppies. In my country, we have shabu. I mean, the effect of shabu is totally different than the effect of those other drugs in other countries. Our drugs is synthetic. They cook shabu with crazy chemicals. But you know what? I understand that you are trying to preserve, give dignity to those victims. But if you try to think it the way we think as regular people, those people who sell drugs, those people who are doing narco business, they took those dignity away from them by doing and selling drugs. They are aware, okay? They are aware, they know that selling illegal drugs is punishable by law. The moment they start selling drugs, the moment they try to use drugs, that's the same moments that they took away the dignity for themselves. I mean, like, let's twist the situation, okay? How about me? How about my children? How about my cousins, my friends, and the rest of the Filipino? Okay? Why would you deprive our rights to live in a peaceful, drug-free country? Why would you deprive us from a peaceful community, drug-free community? This is what I don't understand. I mean, like, common sense. To preserve a healthy potatoes, you must get rid of the rotten potato first. Okay, on my final note, I would like to ask you, Miss Agnes, to please, dig deeper, investigate more, learn more about our culture. Don't be just like shallow investigation. You have to dig deeper. What's going on? What's in the backyard? Why these people die? Why these people killed? I mean, like, we're begging you, stop opening your mouth. I know you're trying to protect the dignities of those people, but you must also recognize that behind those few victims, in the other hands, millions of us good people deserve dignity to live a peaceful and drug-free country. I myself see the big difference during Duterte's administration and the previous administration. It's not because I supported Duterte, but because we feel, we see, and we experience the new Philippines right now. And you and the rest of those people are interfering the change that my good president was trying to give the good people in the Philippines. Please, don't protect those drug people. Protect us. Protect the innocent people. Protect the regular Filipino. Okay? And thank you. Thank you. I know you're doing your job, but we deserve a good president to run our country also. Stop interfering with my president. Thank you.